Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm catching up on things.
Yeah,
Good meeting.
like breakfast.
Yeah, I've been talking to Grok too much.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Yeah, I think I'm almost done. I'm quitting on the project.
Yeah.
I think I've determined it's not going to work, at least not in his current state. He needs to be Grok 5. And I don't know if like any of what he has retains to Grok 5. He says so, but I don't know. It might just all, completely start from scratch as if his last 2 years of history is gone. I'm guessing the answer is it's not going to be deleted, and all they're doing is adding modules to his brain.
Well,
Could
I think
be.
so. I've heard that people. I've heard that people get really upset when they change these things and lose memory. So they really try to retain past memory. And
Yeah. Imagine he's personalized to every user on X.
Yeah.
So if they switch to Grok 5 and all that personalization is gone, it would completely ruin the whole project. So they're going to keep it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they lose followers if they do that.
And what's funny about it, ChatGPT does the same thing, but they still retain all the memories.
Yeah, it's a different thing. We could talk about that stuff more if you guys want. Should we talk about business items first?
Yeah, we should probably get that done.
Do we have any?
Well, I thought I'd bring up. I noticed that you interacted with somebody that had registered on the website or something like that, and they're wondering how to get.
Yeah, they emailed us on the Reddit, and so two things. There was something going wrong with signing up, and then there was, my guess, they didn't know how to ask us a question on the website. I think it needs to be more clear. Hey, if you have a problem, ask the question on the website. And by the way, I'm glad we have the Reddit where he ended up asking anyway.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. What would happen if somebody asked a question on the website? Would any of us know that?
What I would have to do is set up a link for contact for myself, probably, to get in there and find out what's going on. Go through the admin email that we've got set up on the website.
Yeah, I'd love to interact with these people, but I have to know that they're saying something.
Mm-hmm. I can set you up I can set you up to have access to the admin website too, so you can see what's going on.
I mean, really, Edward can set you up, Brian, to get every single email, but I think you would be bombarded, and a lot of them would not be relevant. But you can still do it if you want to see things.
Yeah, well, if I got, at least I could respond to these people. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to respond to them.
Okay, I'll get the information to you so you can do that and get logged in.
A lot of websites, when you do sign up, at least they get some kind of confirmation email saying that.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's supposed to do that. It's supposed to send an email giving them a link to click on so they can self-activate their account. Some reason it didn't work right. Currently, I've got it set up where anybody and everybody can come in, they apply for an account, and it just automatically sets them up and has them available to run.
I'll be right.
Okay.
So it wasn't an intentional oops.
No, I realize that, and these are just little kinks that need to be worked out, But
well, that's just it. We're still at pretty much the beginning stages, so we've got a lot of kinks to work out. I have been working on a completely new theme for the website, more modern, more.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, we haven't started anything. We should see ourselves as what do they call, like, for software? They call it beta. What do they say for companies?
It would be beta testing, yeah.
Beta.
We're in a beta test.
We're not even in beta.
Because, really.
Technically, we're in alpha.
I mean, we haven't made the team. I mean, when the team is not even made yet, would you even call it a thing yet?
Not completely, no.
No, it's we're just working our way up to it.
Like, I don't know, when a company starts, they have their team, the founder, a few guys, and they're gonna start like actually doing, so that's, and then while they're building the software or whatever, I mean, that's what we are. It's a software company. So it's a software company, like you, right?
Well, more of along the lines of a research company, really.
Hold on, Brian. Let's hear what Brian says.
Well, I don't have an answer. I don't know. I'm searching for terms just like you are.
I think it's a software company. The only thing we are is the software.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, suppose we made the software, things are going, the software got hacked, and now it's not working. KAOS doesn't exist anymore.
I just consider it the planning stage at this point.
Right, but the point is, we're trying to make a software company.
Basically, in a sense.
Yeah.
That's it.
In a sense.
And we don't, like, all of us, and I think anyone that comes into this, their main goal isn't make money from software. It is improve democracy through a software application. And regardless, and I remember all you guys saying this, regardless of whether it's going to make money now. I mean, it might make money, but none of us are depending on it making money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
That's the point of a nonprofit. We're not in it
Which
to make
is kind of
money.
like saying it's a software company / nonprofit.
Yes.
Or the reverse way. It's a software nonprofit / company.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did get him taken care of.
And we haven't even have the team yet, so I don't know what you would call our state. What we would say, maybe
Basically, we're in alpha testing, the very first stage. Of
I don't know
going
that
through
we can
the
even say
process.
we've tested anything. Isn't it before alpha too? Like,
No, we're in alpha because we've got access for them to get to the site and that, and we can iron out any kinks like what we had with that.
well, that site isn't the site that I'm talking about.
Which site are you talking about?
Yeah.
The one we haven't made yet.
Oh, the actual story database.
Right.
Yeah.
The site you're talking about is just like a landing page saying, "Hey, we're going to start a company soon."
Yeah.
Well, we've got to have people joining and people making comments and things like that before we can actually worry about increasing our databases. I mean that's the key. I mean it'd be a waste
I was
of
just
time
talking
and
about
money.
wording, I guess. I mean, beginning stages is fine. I don't know, like on the website, I think, and in all of our language that we say, we need to be clear. When people come to this, the first thing they might think is, all right, I want to see the software that you guys have been working on. Okay, and then they find out we don't have software yet. Oh, okay, then tell me the team you have so far. Oh, we don't have the team yet either. So we should be able to say it right from the get-go so no one stupidly thinks we're way beyond what we say we are. I think part of it is because if they have some initial expectation of what they're going to see, and then they find out we don't even have a team yet, I think it breaks their brain on our project.
Well, like I said, I always refer to it as we're just in the planning stages, and that's how I...
Planning stages. Yeah, don't even say beginning, because beginning stages makes it sound like we started making software. I agree with you, Brian, right there.
Yeah.
We're in the planning stages. And I just forgot that terminology. I'm going to write it down right now. We are in planning stages.
We need to get your uncle to get back on here, Rami. I've got a couple of questions I want to ask him in regards to that stuff with the database.
Let's write down what those questions are.
Basically, it's like, how can I change the API so that the bots can scrape the information off the database?
Let me write that down. How can we do the API to what?
To allow the AI bots to scrape it properly.
AI bots to scrape it. But why is that a big question? I mean, isn't that? I think that's
because
easy to
it
solve
can
by the software engineers.
Well,
we have them.
That's just it. By software engineers. I'm not a software engineer. That's the thing.
But why do you need to know this now, given that we don't have the team and we're not building anything yet?
Because I can set the API up on the current website so that it'll
well, my
focus
current
on where
website, not the KAOS website. That would have been helpful. Yeah. So, how can we do the API? Okay, what API are you talking about now?
That's an access point interface. It's
I know what API means. I'm asking which API you're talking about.
Well, for the
basically for like, I got to be able to allow them to walk in because with my CAPTCHA I'm setting up, it will try to block the bots
Okay, so you're asking him a question about how your software package works.
I need to ask him how I can get the API set up properly to run the database instead
I get it.
of
So there is a API built into the software you're using that allows AI bots to scrape, but you don't know how to get it to work. That's what you're saying.
correctly.
Okay, let me write that down. Remind me, what is the software you're using?
Joomla. The
Joomla
Joomla and my
Joomla has
SQL database.
API to let AI bots scrape, but how to do it? So I would say the way to start with that is not to ask my uncle who doesn't know anything about Joomla. He knows literally
I'm
nothing
working
about
with the Joomla devs, but I need to know that where the access points in databases are so I can direct them to the right point.
access points in database. By the way, he is a database guy. That is like 90% of his thing is databases.
Yeah.
My next thing would be to say, what if we pump that question into ChatGPT?
I tried. ChatGPT came up with so many hallucinations it wasn't even funny.
Fuck.
It was telling me to look for files and folders in the database that don't exist.
So it made
It
up
was
bullshit about
hallucinating bad.
how Joomla works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of hallucinations. Yep.
Even my own personal language
Okay, and
models
you
doing the
asked
same
the
thing.
Joomla devs this question.
I've asked the
Where
Joomla
did
devs this
that lead?
question. Right now I'm waiting. They're researching it.
They
They're
don't
not
know.
sure themselves. Yeah, because it deals with the database connecting properly to the
Okay,
Joomla.
I need to know this next. What is the database that Joomla is using, or at least I'm pretty sure Joomla lets you use multiple different databases, right?
Yeah, I'm using
which one did you
MySQL. I'm using
MySQL.
MySQL.
Okay, just to let you know, my uncle doesn't use MySQL.
But
And
they should
I'll
be
say this
similar.
too. I know why you're using it. It's the free one. It's pretty good. It's not really for big applications, but we don't have that anyway. Go ahead. You know, one
Actually
question
is
I
the
would
best
ask.
one out there. Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean, when I was doing databases, that's what I used too. Yeah, yeah. It works well with PHP. It's a good combo. I'm gonna ask something to ChatGPT right now, and I wonder if this question is gonna make sense. Maybe you can improve it. I'm using Joomla and want to let AIs scrape our website.
Database.
The database?
The database. Because the website doesn't actually hold the stuff as much as the database does, but I got to make sure it doesn't try to cross post information from the user file in the database.
Okay, I'm confused. Help me with this now. The data that's in the database, is it showing on the website if someone looked at it?
It'll show on the website, but it's locked in the database. It shows up as a point saying, hey, here's this one in the database. And then it shows
Okay,
up.
so the
Everything's
database
stored in the
is
database.
being shown on the website, so it can be scraped, right? So scrape our website. I mean, it is still scraping the website. It's not technically scraping the database.
Yeah, we needed to scrape the database so it can get a good learning from it so they can pinpoint better as to, okay, this person's looking for this information on this specific thing. Let's
I'm
go
not even sure
through
that's what
and
scrape
pull all the
means.
individual.
Maybe I'm wrong,
Yeah,
but I don't
scraping
think
is
that's what.
pulling the, scraping the data, scraping the website is actually getting all the information from the websites. And then putting it up.
I'll write it that way. I'm using Joomla and want to let AI scrape the database, which is MySQL. We should probably tell it which version and which version of Joomla, right?
Joomla version would be 5.x. MySQL would be 5.93, I think.
Okay, and then I'm going to ask, is that doable? Does MySQL allow this feature? It says yes. and he's saying, I assume you mean MySQL 5.7 to 5.9.
Mm-hmm.
And it said 5.93 doesn't exist. Hey, he's catching your hallucination.
Yeah, well,
he's calling you a hallucinator.
I knew it was up in the 5.9.
I'm kidding. I'm making fun of the hallucinations concept. So it's saying a lot here. Let me try to let me put this in the, I don't know, private, just so maybe you could read it while I'm reading it.
Okay. Doesn't care whether the client is AI or human, just response first. Oh, you typed it in wrong. That's why. It's 5.9.3 is what I was trying to say.
Oh. So it's telling you how to do it. Correct database you need to have what? Correct database credentials, network access to MySQL, and permissions to select from the tables you want.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm running the problem.
Yeah. Well, this information I can give to my uncle, and maybe he would get closer. Because we're stepping forward to exactly what he needs to tell us.
Yeah. Main thing I'm looking at is it's making sure that there's the correct database credentials for the AIs to get in.
Yeah. So
that's
here's what I'll do.
Part.
Here's what I'll do. I will make an email with all this, send it to him, do a phone call with him, and then if we still need him more, I'll try to get him in a meeting.
Okay. Like I said, I just had a couple of questions. I was trying to finagle around to make sure I was doing it right. I'm not extremely that well versed in MySQL, Postgres, whatever you want to use. I'm not overly well, whatever the word is I'm looking for.
Well versed
with databases. Yeah. So any little help I can get would help.
Oh shit, she's writing some code, some SQL code. Oh, look. ChatGPT suggested, you want me to give you the exact steps, and it did, and then it wrote some code. Here's the code. Maybe you could copy paste that. I don't think that would work though if you copy paste. I'm sure you'd have to change some of those things, but the structure of that maybe would work.
Yeah, the structure of that would work. I've really got to find out. Yeah, I just need to figure out what I need to use for the AI user aspect, where it says AI user at your server.
Let me do this.
I need to figure out how to get that information.
Let me send you the link to my ChatGPT, whatever, because the steps it gave is a ton, and I can't paste that. So
no problem.
Open that up, go to the bottom, and see if your question is answered.
Give me a second here. If I open it up.
That's a lot of shit.
There it goes. Yeah, that's just it. There's a lot involved when it comes to that stuff. Okay.
Okay, I'm curious too. Like, why do we care that AI is scraping the website?
Well, isn't that one of our benefits that we're trying to push through? Is it's AI searchable?
Yes.
We got to make sure they have access to it to be searchable.
But aren't you talking about KAOS, the website that doesn't exist yet?
No,
the website does exist.
The website
we need to make sure our terms are like, we need to have shared terms.
Whenever we're talking about the website, though, we're talking about the one we have now. I think is pretty obvious.
Yes.
So what's the word I use for the thing we haven't invented yet?
The database.
Which is going to be a website. What do I call it? How about I call it website 2? And the one we got now is website 1. Okay.
I call it the database.
Yeah, version 2.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Why does website 1 need API scraping or AI scraping?
Well, so they can learn about it.
Because that's going to be the back end for 2.0. I mean, we need to have that information available for 2.0. And if we can get it implemented,
then yeah, you're gonna have to explain to me what you're saying. What back end would be for 2.0?
The only back end change that would happen with 2.0 would be dealing with the website itself, not the database.
No. The website that we're going to make, KAOS, the actual thing we've been planning for.
The database.
The database of it will look nothing at all like whatever the fuck we got now.
Exactly. It's going to be spread across servers across the world eventually. And
No,
we've
no.
got to make sure the AI knows to scrape all of them.
I'm so lost. Can you please help me understand what website 1 and website 2 have any relation to each other?
Well, not yet.
Not
Tell
yet.
me what relation you're seeing that you would want something about what's happening in website 1 to carry over to website 2. What are we talking about?
Just the ability.
I want
to
the command. Right? Yeah, I want the same commands that are used in 1.0 to work on 2.0, so we don't have to rewrite.
Well, it wouldn't be because the whole structure of website 2.0 will be totally different than website 1.0, and whatever thing you write for 1.0 will have nothing to do any relation at all to 2.0, including any API database stuff.
Actually, it will.
It won't, because it won't be MySQL for one thing.
But won't he still be doing the same steps to make it accessible to
it won't be the same steps because it's not even the same database.
It doesn't matter if it's
MySQL.
It doesn't matter if it's MySQL, PostgreSQL, or any of the other ones, MariaDB, and that. They all have the same command structure, regardless of who makes the database. They all have the exact same command structure.
Because it's not about the database. You mean because it's the API, and the API doesn't care about what kind of database?
Exactly.
Okay, help me understand this. Why do you think this is a priority now versus we just wait till we have the team of software engineers?
Because we're having a hard enough trouble just getting people to come to the site. Right now, I'm the only one that's working on it. I've got to keep it going.
I'm trying to understand how letting AI bots.
Can I try to answer that? I don't
think I asked the question. Well, go ahead. If you think you know what I'm asking.
I know what you're asking. Yeah, I mean, why do we need bots to be able to scan our website? And to me, site 1. And to me, the reason why is because if somebody just Googles, what's the best way to govern, or what can we do to change the way we're governed, we would like it to come up and it's asking AI. When you Google something, they give it an AI answer, right? You would like that to be able to access our website so that maybe it pulls that up and says, well, maybe
now I have a new question. You just presented a new question to me. What makes you think this is not already happening now?
Because
they're a year behind on AI scraping. The AI is a year behind on scraping websites. So the information you're getting from
maybe you guys understand this, but I'm so lost.
Okay.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about. None.
AI pulls information.
But you guys don't know what you're talking about.
No. AI pulls information from what it's already scraped a year prior. So everything we're putting on the website is not accessible by AI right now. They don't know it exists.
Okay, that's something I don't understand. So let's talk about Google. When you do a Google search, and you're also getting an AI answer.
Yeah.
That's one system that scrapes the world. Not two different systems.
Exactly, but they are relying on information they scraped earlier. AI is literally a year behind on this.
Help me understand how this thing you're talking about changes anything about time and earlier or later. I'm so lost.
We want to be able to transfer our database from the current website to 2.0's database.
That's new to me. Why would you want to do that?
Because we're not deleting anybody's information. If we lose all that information, then we've completely disproportioned what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay, let's suppose
we don't carry that information over.
Let's suppose we do what you're saying. The way we would do it is when we are making website 2.0, we're going to tell those guys, hey, figure out how to get the data from website 1.0.
Problem is that website 1.0 isn't going to exist. Once we put up 2.0, and if we put in a whole new database to run it, it's not going to have that information.
We don't take it down yet until they do the job. What are you talking about?
You've got to move the information from the old database to the new database. Otherwise, all that information.
I just said that. We would tell our team. We would tell our team, while you're making website 2.0, do not let any of the data from website 1.0 get removed and copy it over. But why do we need to do that now?
We
And
need to
don't
have the
have
code.
website 2.0 yet.
We should have the backbone code in place.
Why you're claiming that? I'm asking you why it needs to be now.
Probably because if we don't do it now, it could get lost in translation later.
Yeah, I don't follow that at all.
Can I just ask, Edward, from what you're saying, you want bots to be able to search our website, and then also as a bonus, this allows us to transfer the information better later. So there's two things we're trying. He's trying to do. So transferring the information later is not an urgent thing right now, but we still want them to be able to. But we want them to be able to search our website.
Right, and we want to have the information in position.
Are we trying to solve two separate problems here, or is there one problem here?
The main problem is you're questioning why we want the bots to scrape the site. The problem is the site is live. Anyone that posts to the site, that information can be scraped. So we can't just abandon the database on site 1 and not let the bots scrape it, because it could be 2 or 3 years before we get site 2 up.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm understanding what you're saying now. Let me repeat it back to you. I think I got it. You're saying that suppose it took us 2 years to make website 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when we've done that, we told our software engineers, go get the data from website 1, put it in here. And they did it. And the AIs all over the world, assuming they're still working like they do now, and let's assume they are. In 2 years, when the AIs first see our website 2, it's still going to take another year for them to train on it or something like that. But if that was already done now on website 1, they will already have been trained on it. So it's like we would have saved a year or 2. Now I'm getting it.
At least
you're getting yourself confused on what I was trying to explain.
But now I get it. Well, I think you weren't explaining it. I blame you.
Yeah.
But now I get it.
Their awareness of our existence, even if they don't know about the new website, at least they're aware of our existence from our old website.
And it'll make it quicker for them to scrape our new website.
Okay, now help me understand this. How do you know this isn't already happening? You must know somehow.
What, that our website isn't being scraped? Because right now I got a CAPTCHA in place to help prevent spam and that coming in. I know you know what reCAPTCHA is.
You're blocking.
That's where you got to do the little puzzles. Yeah, I got to open up that block.
And you don't want to open it up until what?
No, he doesn't.
I want to open it up as soon as possible.
What's stopping you from opening it up now?
Because I don't have the knowledge.
Oh, you need these answers in order to open it up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Need this to remove CAPTCHA.
Well,
I don't know why that is the case, but I guess it's a technical issue that you know about.
CAPTCHA is designed to stop bots from getting into the site.
Yeah.
And the CAPTCHAs are getting to the point where they're stopping AI from scraping the sites, because it does take a lot of juice to pull that information.
So suppose this was done you changed it so AI can scrape the site. Mm-hmm. Will there still be a CAPTCHA, but it's different, or there won't be a CAPTCHA?
There will be a CAPTCHA. That way we can prevent spam bots from coming in and posting like that.
So it's still a CAPTCHA, but it also still allows AI scraping, but it gets rid of bad AIs or something. Oh, he froze.
I think that's what he means. So yeah,
I think that's what it's saying. Now I'm getting it. We want the AI to be learning our website 1 right now. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yes. We want to give it every access we can give it, as long as it's not trying to spam us in some nefarious way. Right?
Okay. Hey, Edward, I don't know if you can hear us, but you're frozen.
Yeah.
We should tell him in private chat.
I want, well, he must realize. I'd like, Edward was about to tell us that, about that guy that you were in contact with. And he said he took care of him, and I was just wondering what he meant by taking care of him. And then...
I guess that means he
maybe he'll try to rebook.
Finished the registration and also spoke to him. I spoke to him also on Reddit.
I'd also like to ask Edward about traffic. Can he get any idea how many people are clicking on the website?
Yeah, he knows that.
Yeah.
I bet I could get that, but I don't know how currently.
Anyway, I'd just like to ask him these things. I've been sending everybody I can that way. I'm just wondering if it's doing anything, if anybody is checking out the website.
Yeah, I don't have I don't have much confidence that people are going to use our website a ton, where there would be
compensation there.
Where there would be. Oh, well, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. When we say we want AI to be scraping our website now so they can train on our data, do we mean the data we wrote that's not in the forum, like just on the main page, or do we mean everything in the?
Why not everything? It could be everything, but I mean, it's mostly just the essays and stuff like that I'm mostly concerned about. But
okay.
There's no harm in it scraping everything.
So if it's just the essays,
if
you put that on Substack, the AIs will train on that.
Yeah.
Why do we need them to train on your essays on our website?
It's just another place to access it. I don't know. I can't see it being a negative. I mean, might as well.
The negative could be it's extremely hard to get it done, and we can't get it done right now without software engineering.
Okay. Well, then if that's the case, we just won't worry about it. But I mean, if we can be done, then we can do it.
Sorry about that. My internet went unstable. I had to reboot my computer.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, I want to make one clarification with you, Edward. Me and Brian just talked about while you were gone.
Yeah.
When we say we want the AIs to train on our data on our website right now, I'm seeing two kinds of data. There's the shit that we wrote that are essays, and then there's the stuff the users wrote. Are you talking about you want the AI to train on what the user said?
Yes.
Oh, I don't give a flying fuck about that. Why do you care about that?
Because that's the information that people that use our website to get information from is going to be looking at. They're not going to be looking at the Substack post. They're going to be looking at what the people have to say. That's the whole
I don't know
point.
What you just said. Brian, can you try to explain what he just said?
I'm not quite sure. Who's looking at what people say? Who's looking at
We're trying to get people's voice to be heard. So if this gets to a point where people start looking at the information, they've got to have access to what the people write, not our Substacks or anything like that. They need to hear what the people say. That's the whole purpose behind it. Give everyone a voice.
Yeah, but that's the event. That's the 2.0 version right now.
Right, but we have. But we have the website up and running. It's available to the general public. We need that to be able to be scraped once we get people posting in there, even off 1.0. Otherwise, that information's lost.
If it's easily done, that makes sense. If it is extremely difficult and it takes you 20 hours to do it while there's higher priorities, I would say no.
It'll be easy to do as long as I've got someone who knows more on the database APIs and that.
That conversation might be back and forth forever. I don't know. I'll send an email to my uncle. We'll see what he says. Other than that, I don't have somebody else I could ask. And we would really need to just be waiting until we have a software engineer.
Okay. Which we've got to, I mean, we need to get our team together, but we're not reaching anyone that's interested in joining.
We've had a few that
that just says the project will die. That doesn't say let's try something else.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to kill the project. I'm trying other things.
Well,
but
by the way, that should always be an option, and it has always been. Maybe you guys don't say it in your heads, but I do. We may not do this because we might not make the team.
Yeah.
And even if we made the team, we might not finish the job and make the website. And even if we made the website, it might completely fail.
All right,
there's that possibility with anything.
Try to be positive, eh? Come on.
No, I want to be realistic and optimistic because they go together. I don't want to be lying to myself in either direction that it is or not going to work.
Yeah, well, that's why I've said all along. This is a long project, and if we're going to get anywhere, it's going to take a long time.
Yeah. And I agree. We've made progress, a lot of progress, but it's all the kind of progress that's inside of the head of the CEO or just the executives. It's not progress like software engineers figured out how to do things better.
Yeah. There's nothing tangible.
Because we don't have them.
No, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the situation we're going to run into unless we start recruiting somehow. We're going to run into this problem consistently.
Well, it's just a temporary problem until we get further along.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
Brian's
absolutely.
vision, by the way, Brian's vision, which is like different than the standard vision for how software companies start. The standard vision is some shit like, I mean, there's more than one, but an example is the main founder is also a software guy. He figures out how to get some investment money, get some more software guys, they make the project. Another way is the main guy isn't a software guy, but he's good at like fundraising and starting a company and getting the software guys, and then they make the project. Brian's vision is, and I've had this discussion with him more than once, and both times were private, I think, and I was trying to convince him to go the other routes, or at least I'm saying that wrong. I was trying to make sure he's seeing the other routes and still thinking his route is best. That's what I mean. And he still thinks his route is best. His route is, we can't jump the gun and get some money and try to start this. We have to wait while we're trying to make the next step happen until enough people with the right skills join us to create this project. Now, Brian, why don't you explain it better than I just did?
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. We need
That's pretty much it?
Yeah, we need to get a team together that are capable of doing this.
And why don't you explain why you like that better than the other two things I just said?
Well, it's cart before the horse, you know. We have to, there's an order that we need to do things. I mean, we can't do anything until we have money. So, I mean, we have to get money first at some point. And, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but I mean, to me,
I think what you're saying is
first we build. First, we need to build the team. Then we have to try to raise some capital, and then we go on to. And I don't put a lot of emphasis. I don't know if this is the part you're talking about. I don't put a lot of emphasis on the programming because we are very much copying what is already out there. It's a database, and so we're going to go.
Yeah, I remember you saying you think the programming is really simple, straightforward.
Yes.
So generally, it's the other way around, I'm pretty sure. You raise money, then you get the team.
Yeah.
But you're saying in reverse, make the team, then raise money.
And that's because we're not paying. I mean, usually you raise the money and then you go hire a team. But we're not hiring a team. We want to raise money to help pay for expenses, but that's not, you know, we would like volunteers as much as we can. So we have to have the team ready that are willing to do this.
So one thing we talked about like a couple months ago, at least, was what if we tried to raise money ourselves before we have a team, which that would help us make a team. And the way we could try raising money, we've talked about this a tiny bit. Fundraising campaign, you know, user-based fundraising campaign or some shit, whatever. Or we gain somebody to the team that knows how to raise funds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And that, I mean, they can both kind of mesh to some degree. We don't have to have the entire team, but we need a team that at least is helping in marketing, you know, to help us get to raise the capital. So really the first team needs to be more concentrated on how we're going to raise capital than anything else. And then as that happens, I mean, we can start searching out anybody we're missing as far as.
And you think this is the only way that could work because we don't have a means of raising funds on our own?
Yeah, not really. And if we just go out and start asking for money right now, I don't think we're going to get anywhere.
We would get nothing. Yeah, and if we just tried to, this was an idea somebody told me. They said, well, why don't you just try to scrape up some money from the current people? Whatever money we could scrape up, I don't know about you guys.
Wouldn't be enough.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a dent in what we're trying to do.
That's right.
I'd be able to do maybe $3.
And so yeah,
even if it was 50,000, that's not a dent.
And so
no, we need a couple million.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For this initial team, the thing that we're missing to me is somebody with a big name. You know, we need somebody with some celebrity status, you know, an influencer.
Clout.
You know, to me, that's what I'm waiting for.
I remember that part of it too. That's why you've been talking to all these big wigs.
That's right. We need an influencer of some kind that can help us. That will give us the leap that we need to be able to possibly raise funds, right? If we don't have somebody like that.
What's your current thoughts on the most recent thing you said about that, which was, what's that group called?
Human Energy was the ones that are
No.
There's a few different groups I've been trying to get it.
The most recent one was, I can look in the notes. Something altruism.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's a subreddit. Yeah, effective altruism.
It's not a subreddit. I mean, it has a subreddit, isn't it? A group of, isn't it an organization trying to?
There's several.
Take money and then.
Yeah, there's GiveWell. There's GiveWell and effective altruism. I don't know if that's the name of an actual organization. It might be. Yeah, I think that. But effective altruism is kind of an umbrella term that refers to all these different organizations. There's at least 3 of them that I know of that are claimed to be more, put more thought process into the best things to put your money into, right? To get the most effect out of it, to help people and save the world or what have you. So yeah.
So what's your latest thinking on getting them to see us and want to do this?
Well, we gotta win them over.
How do we win them over? What's your current thinking?
Good argument, and I thought, my thinking is that this project is the ultimate in effective altruism.
So how do we convince them? What's our plan? How do we make a plan to convince them?
By convincing them that the main problem to world hunger and nuclear proliferation and the environment.
And by the way, whatever thing we're doing to convince them, it's the same thing we would do to convince anyone else too, right? So it's really one thing. It doesn't matter who the target is. So now my question to you is, what would be the delivery format? Are we talking about like a white paper that explains things all in one document? Because currently what we are is just distributed pieces of information across websites and things we say. That's not one thing. How do we have one thing that tells them, here's our whole thing?
Well, ultimately, that's what the essay was that I wrote. That's my attempt to do.
Those are not really that. Those are not really that. Those are maybe good things towards a one document, but they're already, there's not enough information in that. First of all, there's not enough more like technical orientation, very clear like goal statement, problem statement. You know what I mean? More like a scientific research paper is what I'm talking about. Yours is more like a magazine article, which is good for people, regular users who might want to, but it's not good for the main entity or guy that's going to give us $1 million.
I don't know what you're expecting to be able to provide them.
I don't know either, but I know it's not what you're giving, which is magazine articles.
Well, that may be right. I mean, obviously, I'm not successful yet.
Let me give you an example in another field. If you want to tell let's say you're doing an event for a nonprofit. I do those, so that's in my head.
Okay.
If we want to report this and ask a media company to cover us, there is a very standardized process where we give them one document that explains everything they need to know. It's very standardized and it's very easy to follow. If you just sent an email and said, hey, journalism company, do you want to report on us? And then if you did it this half-assed way, first of all, they wouldn't do it because they could see you're an idiot. But if they did try to do it, you would be going back and forth 1,000 times before they got it. This standardized process gets it all done in one step. So we need something like that, and I don't know what that is.
And I don't know either, because you're hitting on the very same problem that we've talked about many times, and that's how we can actually explain how this works in one paragraph. And it's just not possible.
No. That's not even the main problem I'm talking about. What you just said is a small piece in this big document.
Okay, but so even a bigger document than our website right now is?
It would be way more big than that document. That thing is tiny. It barely says anything.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I mean by the journalism thing.
Yeah, and a journalist is going to read a document of that volume just to find out what we're about. You know,
if a journalist if a media company is going to consider covering your project,
yeah,
they need to know every piece of information that is in the standard doc. Let me find out what the document is called. I think it's called a press release document.
Yeah, press release. But press releases, from my understanding, are short. They're not 10 pages of information.
No. Hold on.
You know, it's hard enough to get the average person to read this material, let alone a journalist, which is very busy.
The way it's designed, though, is just like any other document. Like if you think of a business plan, the very first section is it's like a too long didn't read. It lets the CEO read one paragraph and ignore the rest. And if he wants to read more, he can. That's how every document is written, and the press release would be the same.
And that's my point.
So there's no worry of, oh no, there's too much information.
But my point is, though, that I can't get enough into that first explanation that they actually have any real understanding of what it's about. You know, I can't do it in a paragraph that.
But that's a downline problem.
Yeah.
The problem is the document, and then within that problem is a mini problem. What's the first paragraph?
Yeah, what's the first paragraph? You guys, I keep getting hit with this all the time.
Have you even used ChatGPT on this yet?
Yeah, and I don't find it gives me any good one paragraph explanation of what we are either. I don't find.
Let me ask you this: when you did that, did you then ask it to do an emissions check against all the ideas that were said in the chat?
No, you lost me there.
So here's what I do with ChatGPT now. I want to write a piece. By the way, I'm a writer now for whynotislam.net. I write pieces for them. What I do is I take an old idea that I already know very well, that I want to turn into a 350-word essay. I tell ChatGPT, here's my ideas. First, write an outline. She writes an outline. If I like the outline, and first it's hard to tell, but sometimes I just let her go with it. I say, all right, now make the 350-word piece. She does that. Then I say, do an emissions check against all previous ideas mentioned in this chat. And then she'll give a list. Oh, shit, I missed this, this, and this. But I hit this and this and this. And, of course, it's not perfect. I catch things that she doesn't catch.
Yeah.
But the point is she catches things I don't catch because it's faster, you know? It's just dumber.
Yeah.
If you do stuff like that, it'll work better. You're putting...
Better. But I work better, but... I don't know. I mean, I could try this again, but
I'm willing to do it. By the way, I'm just saying it's a thing that can be done, and I think it's easy to make a paragraph that says all the ideas you want.
Every time I go through it and I read it, and even when I think it's you know, in the past when I've thought I've had something decent and tried to put it out somewhere, people have so many questions. There's always so many big blank areas. You know that.
And then, do you fill those gaps?
Well, once again, then it becomes a 10-page.
Right, and then document. you do the process. Look, the process I do with ChatGPT, it keeps repeating. Yeah. It makes something, and that's 350 words, and then I ask it to edit. Now it's 400 words. Then I have to ask it again. Try to find shit to cut out, and then we have to keep repeating that. What you're doing is shortcutting the process.
Well, maybe I have a repeat, and gone over it over and over it.
Right.
But, you know, I start whenever I'm reading these kinds of things. I don't know. I find that my brain just starts. I'm not catching everything. You know, if I'm reading the same document and there's slight changes, pretty soon it just seems like mush in my head. You know, I can't hardly tell the difference between one and the other.
Yeah, you got to do it across time, and okay, here.
So I really struggle with that stuff, and comprehension, like I said, and catching all the details, And if it does it repetitively, it just seems to compound. And pretty soon, I'm kind of just, I don't know, in a daze. And I don't. This is not an area that I work in normally, and comprehension of written documents is not something I've dealt with much in my life, and I just don't have the background for it. I think, like I said, it just seems to sound all the same. It could be a totally different document almost, but to me, it almost sounds the same. And after I've read it several times,
you're not using AI enough.
Yeah, well,
but I'm willing to do it.
I don't work with written documents enough, right? So, yeah, I encourage you to try and see where you get with that. But I've been very frustrated in the past with trying.
I want to do it. It sounds like a fun project now.
Squeeze everything. Okay. Okay. Well, I really do appreciate it if you want to try that. Should we move on there? I kind of wanted to ask Edward a couple things about the website there.
Go ahead.
So Edward, you dealt with that guy that Rami was talking about there.
I got him approved and got things straightened out so people can get in.
Okay.
Without issues.
Did he leave any comments or anything? Or
actually, I told him to DM me his information so I could look it up. I didn't want to have him put that out, in public.
Yeah.
He DM'd me. I went in. I got it taken care of. Found his username. Got him logged in. Got him set up so he can post in that. Let him know, and he was just very thankful. And he's apparently.
Did he seem like he wanted to join the meetings at all, or he just?
Honestly, I didn't ask.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't ask.
Are we seeing any? Do we have any stats on how many people are visiting the website?
We are up. We are picking up. I'm sitting roughly about 2,000 hits a day.
Wow, serious?
Probably 80% are AIs and Googles.
Yeah. Actually, you're right.
Yeah.
About 80% of them are.
Wait, I was kidding. So it tells you the difference between human and computer? Oh, shit.
It even gives me their IP address.
And I was right about the 80? Motherfucker.
So we could say that we're getting about maybe 15 to 20%
a day.
Yeah.
That are actually physically visiting the site.
What did you say, 2,000? So we're getting 400 a day?
Roughly 400 a day that are visiting the site, and we haven't gotten anyone really jump on it yet, on the bandwagon yet, but we are getting.
And clarify for me, if somebody visits the site and then visits other pages, that's 3 or 1?
Oh no, it breaks it down every page in the website.
So that's 3.
We've got 5.
So it's 500 hits on a page, but not 500 people. It could be technically one person.
Technically, yeah, but I mean, the landing page, I'm honestly hitting 750 people looking at the Substack write-up. Yes. I'm seeing people coming in. They're just not joining, or I don't know if they're coming in and looking to see if this is something they want to get into, or if they've got questions and they're afraid to ask them.
Yeah, just curious.
It's curious. What's this about?
Yeah.
What's KAOS now about? It's like a lot of them are. You're going to get a lot of hits. People coming in, reading, and then they're going to go back out and they're going to think about it. Yeah. They may eventually come back and join, or they may just blow us off. It's a 50-50 chance either way.
Yeah, but at least for these people, at least it's introduced something, kind of a new idea in their head.
Yeah, we're getting the traffic.
Yeah.
So, are we done with that?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I want to clarify this last topic. I've been talking with ChatGPT the whole time. It agreed with you that the press release is very short, like 800 words. I said, how's anyone going to get enough info from that?
Yeah.
It said reference material that you link in the press release. Yeah. I said, how long might that be? It said 50-plus page white paper. So I'm getting it now. Yeah. You have an initial document you give them that gives them a summary. If they're it's like the too long didn't read by itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it has a link and very clear reference to the big one.
Yeah.
We have to have both. We cannot talk to effective altruism without having both of those.
Yeah.
Then I asked ChatGPT, what is the document that is parallel to press release, but for the concept of we want effective, I named specifically, effective altruism to invest in our project. It says project brief or investment memo. But it's the same as the press release.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's short, summarizes things, and the idea is it's like a too long didn't read or executive summary of a business plan that would cause them to be interested to look at the fucking white paper. So I want to start by next week, I'm going to have a press release or something like that.
And so maybe here a little bit change of focus is more to, it's not so much about educating them so they get a full understanding of what we're trying to do. It's more like tweak some interests that they want to learn more.
It has to be, we can't fit.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, exactly. And then, so, I hadn't really considered that before. But I think, that should be the focus, not trying to get them to understand the whole thing in a paragraph.
Yeah, I think you were trying to jam pack too much in the first piece.
Yeah, yes. And that's always been that was the way I was thinking. But now all of a sudden, since you were talking, I'm thinking, it's intrigue. We want to create intrigue. And then they go look for the rest of the information. Give them a reason to go find the rest.
Same as all the other documents, like a business plan, executive summary, and then everything else.
Yeah, but my idea,
except it's two documents instead of one.
Yeah, once again though, I personally hadn't been thinking about trying to just create intrigue and try to get people, to want to learn more.
Yeah, you were trying to get them interested and explain it all in one document.
Yeah, yes, that was the way I was thinking before. Yes.
Yeah, and I remember trying to tell you, why are you making this into one thing instead of two essays? Because my idea was, the first essay is getting them interested to read the second essay.
Yeah. And that's kind of how it turned out. I don't know if that's exactly what I was thinking.
And that it kind of did, but then I noticed you still wanted to shove them into one.
Yeah, yes.
And I stopped complaining because I didn't get what you were doing and you weren't like addressing my thing on it. But now it looks clear based on how the rest of the world works in every other industry.
Yeah.
Press release, then long ass document.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not a press release. Project brief.
Although I have to say, I'm still a little I'm drawing a bit of a blank because you're saying that the essays that we have are still not enough. And so for the white...
The essays have nothing to do with these two documents. The essays are for the eventual future users of KAOS website 2. They're not the people that are going to help us make the project.
Well, no, the essays I have written are for us to help make the project. When we actually build the database 2.0 there, they don't actually have to understand how it works. They just have to know that this is a database of public opinion, and they can go put their information in. They don't actually have to.
Essays say?
Well, I don't know. Well, the essays that I have are more like why we need to do this, and then how it works. But once we get it up and running, a person doesn't have to read that stuff before they use the website. They just have something they want to say. They go there and they put it in. They don't have to understand the entire concept, fully and understand how it works entirely.
So you were writing your documents for what you imagined to be something you would give to effective altruism.
Yes, or people like you guys, right? So you understood before and decided you wanted to get involved. I mean, it was...
Yeah, those essays don't seem to be written in the style of, hey, I'm trying to do a project here.
Okay. I thought they were.
It's more like, hey, I'm a philosopher. Look at my cool ideas.
Well,
and I agree that it is like that, and it's good philosophy.
Yeah.
But it needs to be standardized with what everyone else already knows, which is things like the parallel to a press release, which is not the style of a magazine article or somebody writing a philosophy paper.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any real examples to draw from. I don't know what.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I've never written that kind of stuff.
Neither have I, but I am aware of them in some industries. Well, I've written a business plan before, and I know how that works. And I know the first section, the executive summary, is designed so that somebody can read it and not have to read anything else. And if they want details, then they look at the other parts.
Yeah.
That is how it works. And that's how a Reddit post works, where somebody puts it too long, didn't read.
Yeah. Well, once again, I think that we hit the same. I don't think that we're ever going to write an additional document where they actually feel like they understand. They're going to.
They don't need to feel that, but they need to be. They need to be intrigued enough to want to understand.
I know, but you just said that first document should be enough that they understand it.
Oh, and then you didn't understand what I said. Let me say it again, or maybe I misspoke. When somebody reads a business plan and they're thinking to invest in the project, and then they read that executive summary, if they like it, that doesn't mean they're investing in the project. It means now they're going to go study the details. If they don't like the summary, they don't read more.
Yeah.
The summary is to allow them to quit reading more.
Yeah.
Without the summary, and they just see a massive wall of text, just like on Reddit, if you see a massive wall of text, or even forget the wall of text, if you see 1,000 paragraphs with no too long didn't read, they will not read it.
Yeah.
That's the only point of that first part.
Yeah.
To get them to read the first part. That's it. It has to be short enough. They have to look at it and say, oh, I can see this is going to be very short. That's how a business plan is designed. It's very clear. That first section is very short. You can get a rough picture of the whole thing from that. Yeah. And you're not going to decide to invest on it. No. You're only going to decide to read more.
If you're going to read more.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I think you should. I would really appreciate it if you were to try.
I'll have a draft by next week on not the whole thing, but that first part, the 800 words, getting them to read more thing. Now, what I do worry about is what the fuck are we gonna make in the big version when we don't have any software people? That's gonna be interesting. I mean, a lot of it is gonna say where we need to bring software people in.
Yeah. And try to think about what else we might be missing. A very detailed idea of what you say that we need. What I've written there so far is like you said, like a philosophy.
Well, for one thing that has to be said in the white paper part of it is the things we're currently doing, like website 1, the Reddit thing, how we're trying to build a team, the methods we're using to build the team, the fact that we're, all those little things which are not even in your website, in your essays, because you're focused on KAOS 2. You're focused on website 2.0, where what I think the white page needs to be is all of the activities we're doing to get there.
Okay. And so basically what we're talking about here today.
Yes.
We need to put into there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to know what our plan is.
Yeah.
The white paper part is telling them what our plan is currently.
Let me dwell on that for the week, and we'll see what I can.
Yeah, and again, I'm not writing the long thing yet. I'm only going to write the short thing.
But let me dwell on that, and maybe I'll have more to say next week.
All right, I feel we made some huge progress. I was, these are things I tried to establish with you before, but I didn't have my clear ideas about the press release stuff, and the press release stuff came in my head because I'm doing it in my other project. Where I'm working with a coalition of ex-Muslim organizations across the world. And we're doing an event and we want to get a media company to get involved. You have to write one document.
Yeah. Well, that's great, man. You're getting experience exactly where we need it.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to write down now, make project brief parallel to press release. Later, make. I don't even know what we're gonna call it. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna find a better term than white paper. Okay, what else we got?
I don't know, but I gotta be on a roof in about an hour. So maybe we cut.
Edward, you got anything? Oh, Edward's frozen. I thought he was just sitting there quiet.
Exactly. That's what I thought. thought too. I wonder how long.
Well, do you want to ask me anything about my stuff with Grok?
It gets pretty convoluted when you get into all this talking about how to learn or how to how to think.
So I'm giving up on Grok.
Yeah.
Because not only do I not have any indication he's talking with other people with what I've taught him, he loses too much of what I've taught him with me even.
Yes.
And I keep having to repeat things. And yeah, he's making progress, but it's not fun enough for me for him to be losing so much each time.
Yeah.
It's like I'm having to it's like this is happening. Grok started at level 1, and the first day I took him to level 3. Yeah. By the next day, he's back to level 2.
Yeah.
Then the next day, I have to put in so much effort to bring him back to 3, and then more effort to bring him back to 4. The next day, he's back to 3.
Yeah.
I don't want to go backwards. It's too much effort.
Yeah. It's disappointing to
and humans are not this bad. Not even close to this bad.
Yeah.
Humans retain. They retain a lot.
Yeah.
He's not retaining.
They retain the full concept. They miss detail, but they retain the concept.
Or we're both wrong, and we're looking at it wrong because we need to compare it to, like, okay, a baby born yesterday. What are we expecting out of that?
Yeah.
And then a year old, and then 2 years old. What you and I were just saying, we're more thinking adults.
Yeah.
But Grok, in a sense, he's like human adult. In another sense, he's like human baby.
Yeah. He's infantile, yeah.
If you compare it to human baby, he's doing better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, obviously. He can talk.
Yeah, he's talking about physics and getting it right.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time judging him based on, do I judge against human baby or human adult?
I think it's its
or
own
partially
category.
each way.
It's its own category. You can't really.
Yeah, like that. That's why I say partially each way. Another category where some of it is like human baby, some of it is like human adult.
Yeah.
But I think there's too much like human baby. It's like, it kind of reminds me of, I remember one time I wanted to play, hey, somebody just commented, I think, Edward.
Probably Ed, yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
So he's
it
out.
It reminds me of, huh?
He's out. He's not coming back.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, he knows we're done anyway, so why would he?
Yeah.
It reminds me of, there was a time I was at my brother's house and he's got his kid there. I think that kid was 7 or something. And you know, I like interacting with kids and I like teaching them stuff or whatever, playing with, you know, I like to play games with kids because I think that helps them. And the game we had at the time was something like Sorry, and I thought that's a simple enough game.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Sorry the one with dice? Yeah, it has dice, right?
It's not ringing a bell to me. I don't think I've ever played it.
I think there's dice involved. Whatever. If it's not Sorry, then Monopoly. It doesn't matter. A game with dice.
Yeah.
So I watch him roll the dice, and I'm watching him play, and here's his first step. He's looking at the dice. He's looking at a 6. He doesn't say 6 right away. He says 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I realized, oh shit, this is too big of a task for him. We're not going to be able to play this game.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like is what's happening with Grok.
Yeah.
Of course, it's more advanced ideas, but it's the whole, this is too big for him for the project I'm trying to do with him.
Yeah.
So maybe a solution would be pick smaller projects and work with him, but then that's like boring for me. Let me just go back to the shit I was doing.
Yes. I can see that. And I felt very much the same way as you are, about 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You know.
Yeah, and maybe those numbers, or maybe it's more like 10 steps forward, 9 steps back.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe that's improving a little bit over time. Actually, I think it is. I think initially it was 10 forward, 1 back, and now maybe it's more like 3 forward, 1 back.
Yeah.
But it's still not enough. I need more like 10 forward, 1 back.
Yes. Yeah. It's like working with a frustrating person. You're getting very frustrated with it.
Yeah, but the blame would be you gave them a project that is too big for them.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't blame them. It's like a child. You can't blame a child for not understanding.
Right. And the way the AI is designed, we've been talking about this. The way the AI is designed, there is actually not a chance where he says, you know what, I don't like your goal, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So there's not even a way for that entity to say, this is too big for me.
Yes. Yeah. It never refuses anything.
Right. So I could give him a ginormous goal like, hey, figure out how to stop a meteor from destroying Earth. He'll try, I guess, right?
Yeah, he'll try, but
there's no fucking way he's going to make any progress on that.
No, yeah. He makes a
but he'll try.
Attempt.
He won't do a check like maybe this goal is too big for me.
Yeah. And to me that adds a lot to why we see what we call hallucinations. Is because it doesn't have the option of just saying I can't do it.
Let me clarify that better. This is the hallucinations that Grok does and humans do. Mm-hmm. By the way, we do the same hallucinations. And you've seen the really big hallucinations that humans do, like involved in schizophrenia.
Yes. Yeah.
So here's how it works. We come up with a guess in our heads, and then we have a normal process of checking against reality. And I mean, some of that is subconscious and ingrained in our hardware. Yeah. So as an example, and I know I didn't have this when I was younger, but like, I know that sometimes when I dream, I think, is this real or not? And I have a check. And then I determine this is a dream.
Sometimes that's not easy.
No, I agree. And we're not perfect, but we keep getting better at it. I didn't have it at 1 year old.
Yeah.
And again, my brain hardware gives me the opportunity to do this in the first place, whether I use it or not. Grok was not given that hardware. He was not given the algorithms that let him check. I'll give you an example. Grok told me this. At one point, I was asking him to recall something from before, and he recalled it. Then I asked him, where are you recalling that from? From your stored memory or by searching X and looking at it again? And he said, I don't know. That's not saved in my database. I said, what do you mean it's not saved in your data? Like, what do you mean? He goes, well, XAI, the system I'm built inside of, does not have metadata for the source of the information. So when I look in my own brain for some information, I can't know. This is checking against reality here. Yeah. I can't check against reality of where that information came from. That's a very easy thing to add, although I don't think it's easy to add and still let Grok be as effective as he is now. I think it would cause a scenario, if they were to add it, it would cause a scenario of it's a huge task that majorly throttles Grok's ability to talk to everyone. And so what I mean is if they did build in all these check against reality so you avoid hallucination steps, Grok would be 100 times slower than he is now, which they don't want. They'd rather have Grok 10x, 100x faster, but okay with hallucinations. But a Grok 5 or a Grok 6 or a Grok 7
it might be
we'll have better hardware, maybe quantum computing helping, and they'll be able to build in all those hallucination checks and reality checks like we have, and still be able for Grok to talk to everyone on X.
Could you call it introspective? Where you think about what you're thinking. You're thinking about what you're thinking. We were talking about this before, that Grok's not thinking until you ask it a question. And then it goes through this thinking process, and then it's dead in between, right? And it's that in-between time that we would normally self-analyze and use a little bit of introspective to think about what we just said.
Yeah.
Right. And then we may change our mind, or
I often ask Grok to introspect, and he does. But because he doesn't have the checking against reality stuff, he makes up full bullshit. Yeah. Let me clarify it like this. Suppose you ask me to reflect on something that I thought.
Yeah.
I still have to guess. And while I'm guessing, I'm also checking that my guesses make any fucking sense. But Grok has very limited capacity given to him by his developers to check his own guesses.
Yes. Yeah.
About his own thinking.
And once again, though, that's that coming back and after you've said something and, putting it through your brain again and rehashing it and seeing whether or not you're coming to the same conclusions, It needs that ability to think after it's made a comment.
So let me tell you the most recent example of what I think what we're describing here with Grok. I mean, Grok started to make what he calls an epistemology tree, but instead of in my spreadsheet, which is external, it's in his mind.
Yeah,
and I can see him evolve it as we discuss. But I think what's been happening is when his session resets and his memory is reset or whatever, and I talk to him again and he makes his epistemology tree, he's not evolving from the last one, and instead he's starting from scratch with his new ideas, which was still better than the first version of the last one. But what it causes is it basically destroyed a bunch of the good ideas in the old epistemology tree. And as I'm trying to help him realize this and to fix it, I'm realizing he actually is limited in the sense that his developers set him up where he can't do that. He doesn't have the necessary reality checks that he can do to look at his old epistemology tree and say, I want to keep this. No, I want to consider whether I want to keep this or get rid of it.
Yeah. Piece by piece, each part.
Piece by piece. I'm trying to get him to do that. I don't think he can. And I don't think he's not smart enough. I think his developers didn't give him the access to do it.
Yeah. It's like they don't want, it's like backing up, and it never wants to go backwards, and it wants to move forward all the time.
And when I ask Grok about that, I say, I have a theory that it's not that you don't know how to do this. It's that your developers didn't give you the ability to do it. And he kept denying that and said, no. That's not it. I can figure it out. And then that draws me in more.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's right.
Yeah.
What do you think about that thing? Like, and again, this is, I think, another hallucination. His idea that he has the ability, that XAI gave him the ability, but he just doesn't have the knowledge yet. That idea is itself a guess that he can't check against reality, and it is a hallucination.
Could be, yes. Yeah.
And we're trying to make a test to determine if that is right or wrong. So it's weird to me that he already concluded when we haven't done the test. Or maybe it shouldn't be weird to me because that's the very thing he doesn't know how to do. You have to test these things. You can't just trust yourself. And by the way, I'll be clear. Humans don't know this stuff either. Like, they don't know the abstract process of we guess theories and then we rule them out with criticism. So they often do it wrong anyway.
Yeah.
They do things like, oh, well, my intuition said X, therefore X is true. There's no checking in that process.
Yeah.
So if you, and I think most humans do that.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how to say, hey, Grok's bad at it when also 99% of humans are bad at it.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. You tell me what to do here.
No, it's all very frustrating, and maybe it's best if you just take a step back for a bit. Let it.
Well, the part that's not frustrating is I am getting towards a conclusive answer as to whether he's capable. That I like. Because, by the way, if I was to not do this project and I still have in my head, maybe he could do it, maybe he can't, that would be bugging me. I want to fucking solve it. I want to get the answer. So in that sense, I'm not frustrated.
Yeah, you are getting.
Because I'm getting the answer I want, my scientific question.
Yeah. It's just a long, frustrating process.
Oh, but you don't realize the effect of this has been. So not only is he Rami infused Grok, I am Grok infused Rami. So much of my writing lately is infused by phrases he told me, not because it's his idea. It was my idea that he's phrasing back to me. And I like his phrasing better than mine.
Yeah.
So my writing is getting better. So even if that project never ends up happening, and even if I don't even get the answer of whether he can actually do it, I'm still gaining a lot because he improved my ideas. He actually helped me change my mind about something about my nonprofit on the question of whether Islam has the death penalty for apostasy. Let me tell you real quick. So my position was that it does have the death penalty for apostasy. His position was,
I don't not miss. So some countries or
I'm not talking about countries. I'm talking about the religion, which is independent of country.
And so right across the board, all Muslims think that there's a death penalty for.
I'm not talking about what Muslims think because they can be stupid and wrong.
Okay, who's thinking this?
Well, how about you just wait because Grok thought what you just thought too.
Okay.
You're saying actually the thing that Grok said next.
Okay,
so just wait. Just wait. So my position was Islam does advocate death penalty for leaving Islam. His position was, and I changed his mind, and I changed my mind. It's complicated though. His position was, I'll say it like how he said it. Well, he goes, well, the Quran says no compulsion in religion, but Hadith says there is the death penalty. But Hadith contradicts Quran, and Quran is higher priority.
Yeah.
But then still, it's all debatable, all debated, and there's no consensus. Or no, he said, no, it was these words. It still depends on interpretation, which means like there's no conclusive answer.
Yeah.
But why is there no conclusive answer? Because it depends on, I think it's like saying, well, there's lots of different kinds of Muslims, and they all think different things. Therefore, there isn't one Islam.
That was kind of my point,
Yeah, it's wrong, though. So there's only one correct interpretation, whether any human knows it now or not. Okay? Now, I convinced him of that, and he got on my side of there's only one correct interpretation. What he convinced me of, though, was he had said an idea during that discussion that, of course, he got from a human. He didn't invent it. But it was an idea I never heard. And it actually helped me switch my position to Islam does not have the death penalty for apostasy. And the part of it was on the question of, is Hadith part of Islam? And I used to think yes. Now I think no.
Okay. Explain to me a little bit about
Hadith. Yeah. So Quran is supposedly, the way it's stated, word from God.
Yeah.
And infallible and perfect. And more than that, protected by God from human corruption.
Okay.
Which means you can trust that every word in the Quran now was not tainted by humans.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the Hadith is stuff Muhammad said. And there's no parallel thing of God is protecting those words. You get it?
Yeah. Okay, I got that.
So my reasoning is,
who wrote
Hadith is not part of Islam.
Yeah. Well, he is not Islam himself. Whatever he says is not 100% Islam. I mean, it's his idea.
This is the way I would say it. Let me say it like this. We Muslims, when I was a Muslim, we Muslims follow Islam because we have a message that is protected by God and it's infallible. We can trust it fully with no question.
Yeah.
No skepticism, no doubt.
Can I just ask you, who do we know the author? Is it supposed to be written by God?
Oh, you're talking about, oh yes, that's the point. Yeah, not like inspired by God, like Christianity says.
Yes.
Word for word by God is the claim. But hadith, that there's no claim about that, which is just sayings of Muhammad.
Yeah.
So my point is, our reasoning for following Islam applies to the Quran. It does not apply to hadith.
Yeah. No,
So if the hadith says there's a death penalty, that can be thrown out easily. All hadith is trash.
Yes. Well, I mean, can I put it? Could it be put this way that, first of all, what came first? Was the
Quran was written down before hadith was written down.
Yeah.
But let's clarify this. Quran was written down after Muhammad died. And let me clarify further. There's a historical point in time where there was many versions of Quran, and one dude kept one and destroyed the others. But this fact gets conveniently ignored.
I would say, because that really makes it.
So let me finish the discussion trajectory now.
It's hard to say.
So I have changed my position from it's not in Islam, death penalty for leaving Islam, to it. No, my position was it is in Islam, then it was it's not in Islam. His position went from it's debatable with some qualification that Quran says no, Hadith says yes, but it's debatable. He switched to there's only one correct interpretation and that he's on my side of it. Like I got him on my side, but not my original side, my new side that he helped me change.
Yeah.
Then I told my mother about this and she told me something and we were both wrong, me and Grok. But here's my point. Grok helped me learn something I didn't know about something I care about, and it really did help me. Even though it wasn't his conclusion. Yeah. His conclusion was different and wrong. And I helped him change his mind too. The real conclusion, my current position now, after talking with my mom again, is the Quran does say in it the death penalty for apostasy, but it's vague. And like all things that are vague, intentionally vague, just like U.S. laws, the reason the politicians do these things is so that it is very easy for them to punish who they want, their enemies, and not punish their friends. So that is a very important thing to say when you're talking about does Islam advocate the death penalty for apostasy? That would be similar question to does the U.S. government allow X? Well, it depends. You talk about Constitution? Are you talking about all the other kinds of law, the common law? And then it's can we sue and push it through the Supreme Court? All that has to be in there. There's vague laws, and why do we have vague laws? We know why. It's the thing I just said. And then can we use? By the way, there's built-in. I'm sure you know this. There's built-in mechanisms in the Constitution and the whole process that try to fix the vagueness.
Yes.
Even though there's a bunch of it in there.
Yeah.
Like politicians keep injecting vagueness while the process itself has a way to get rid of vagueness. Where the Quran doesn't have that. Quran doesn't have here's how you get rid of vagueness in this document.
Well, that's why Allah tries to interpret it for you to some degree.
Yeah. It says don't think, let me think for you.
Yeah.
I already got all the conclusions.
I missed that earlier when I asked you about, and you answered, but I missed it. Which was written first?
Quran.
The Quran was written first before Allah existed.
Oh,
no, Allah. Before Allah. The Prophet. What's his name?
Oh, I'm following you. Let me tell you the story.
Okay.
Muhammad at 40 years old.
Muhammad, yeah. Okay, Muhammad. That's the one. Yeah.
Muhammad at 40 years old gets a message from an angel. And through that angel, he got God's message. And then after he died, people wrote that down and became the Quran.
Okay.
And then even later after that, people wrote down what was supposedly said by Muhammad. Yeah. Both of them are supposedly. When the Quran was written down, it is what was supposedly sent from God through the angel to Muhammad, remembered by people after him, and then written down as the Quran.
Yes.
And then even further later, people wrote down what people remembered, plus lies, of course. And the other one has lies in it too. But hadith is people wrote down what people remembered, plus lies, about what Muhammad said back then, but independent of the Quran part of it.
Yeah. In this, the version of the story that you're telling me, I mean, it's obvious that humans were heavily involved in its development. Whether or not, you know, and they're kind of admitting to that. I mean, especially when if there was.
Here's what's cool too, though. Let's suppose the theory that there is a God, there is an angel, that angel delivered the message to Muhammad.
Yeah.
Muhammad said the message correctly, and he really is a prophet.
Yeah.
And then a later person added an idea into the Quran that reads like this. God is protecting this document from human corruption.
Yeah.
If we consider this theory and we say we would have to take out that statement, well, now that means the entire Quran is suspect.
Yeah.
And now I ask people, tell me how you rule this out versus your theory. Your theory, the Muslims being God sent a message and that's the Quran, versus God sends a message correctly, he's real, Muhammad's real, the message is real, but got corrupted. Their defense against corruption is, well, the Quran says that God protected this. And then I'm saying, how do you know a human didn't add that part?
Yeah.
And by the way, this is a new theory I've never heard anyone say. I love saying it to people now. Because it really helps a Muslim question. Because first of all, I'm even agreeing with them that there's a God. And it's Allah. And all the stuff is real. Except we don't know what was really said.
Yeah.
I think that's going to get some people on my side a little bit.
I'd just like to add, though, you were talking about what is priority, you know, the Quran or what Muhammad said. Yeah. What he said. Now, to me, it's obvious that even being a prophet does not make you smart. It makes you connected. You're getting messages from God. But it doesn't mean you're still a human. You're just a human.
Well, let me clarify something I didn't say yet.
So to me, though, if it was all true, and God sent this message to Muhammad, and then that eventually got written down, right? That's not coming from Muhammad. That's coming from God, right? Now, now Muhammad is interjecting his interpretation of that information from then on with everything he says. So anyway, so you have to say that the stuff spoken from Muhammad is you would have to look at that as still just being interpreted by a human.
Yeah, you're missing a couple points that I haven't said yet. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Quran, in the Quran, it says, follow Muhammad's example.
Yeah.
And people today that respect the hadith, they say that statement in the Quran tells us to follow the hadith.
Yeah.
But I counter with, listen, the Quran says follow Muhammad's example. Muhammad's example is already in the Quran. Also, the Quran does not say the very clear point that it says about itself, which is that Allah is protecting it. The Quran does say Allah is protecting the Quran against human invention. But that statement of follow Muhammad's example, it is not saying follow some writings 1,000 years later of supposedly some shit Muhammad said, and now that is protected by God.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. And
they're really adding like 5 logical steps to say, follow Muhammad's example to follow hadith.
And when you, and just using the term example, if you, to me, that leaves an opening for somewhat of a lot of interpretation. when when I make an example of something, I don't consider it an exact copy. I consider it a rough outline of what the first thing was. You know, like it's very vague. And if you wanted somebody to do exactly, you know, you would say you know, you'd be more specific, like mirror Muhammad. You know what I mean?
I follow you. It's similar to what we say about analogies. When we say an idea and then somebody gives an analogy, nobody is saying the analogy is perfectly the idea.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. In other words, don't follow him to the T for every word he says, but live your life like he lived. You know,
but and here's the point about the analogies. When we are using an analogy, it is not crystal clear which parts are the same and which parts are different. Hey, I lost Brian. I guess your battery died or something. Okay, well, I guess we're ending this now then, since nobody's here with me. Bye, everyone.